Hello, and welcome back to the Faye Banner Review, where we talk about units that will most likely bend over your favorite units for the next 3 months before inevitably being countered. Can you really believe it though? The end of Book 8? It feels as if just last year Book 8 started. You're old, teehee. Today, we have a brand new mythic banner that contains the last 2 original characters of Book 8 in Snake Lady and Tree Dude. Did anybody expect anything else? I thought Fafnir had a chance. And as per tradition, I will be using this coveted small line graph that may or may not be small at the end of the day to rank the brand new mythic banner. Today's ranking will be based on the font size of the PRF skills, which may or may not vary depending on the unit. Spoilers, it does. But that subscribe button sure doesn't vary or something, so make sure to hit it. Yeah, that'd be swell of you, thank you. First up, there's Snake Lady, or Neathhoger, if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, so I'm going to stick with Snake Lady. She's an Astro Mythic, which is pretty funny, because everyone thought she was going to be a Dark Mythic, and man, you guys sure look silly for thinking that, haha. And so do I, because I thought the same thing. Let's see. She has a weapon that is actually really hard to read. What the fuck? Hey guys, me here. Look at this. It's the image from the trailer. It's that, right? We are going to look at the font size because I'm not really sure how big this is in general. So I booted up this program that I tend to use. It's pretty nice. It's called, not Adobe, even though I use Adobe for everything else. But besides that, I want to see what the current placeholder text, or, okay, well, not placeholder text. I want to see the font size. And unfortunately, I cannot read a script and open this, so I am freeballing this one. Not that I script anything, am I right? I don't know. So right now it's at 9 font, right? 9-point font on the, whatever font I have it on. But I don't like this font, so let's go with this. And yeah, that looks a lot better. Right, we can put like italics, and look at that. It's already so much better. This is not necessarily the correct size, so unfortunately the lowest this goes is 6, and I don't think that's the right size either. 6 seems a bit too big, and unfortunately there really isn't a size that goes below 6, so we'll have to eyeball this. Right now this is 6, right? That's too big. You see, it's way too big. If I shrunk this down maybe a tiny bit, it's not shrinking. If I now shrink it down, this looks like it's about to be 2. I'm thinking 2, maybe. If we like really zoom in here, but that still seems a bit too big. So I'm probably going to shrink it down a bit. Yeah, let's call it 1-point font. I'm thinking 1-point font. Yeah, you see the A's kind of align up here. They kind of align. Not align up, that's not a thing. Line up is a thing, not align up. But yeah, I'm thinking 1-point font is about right for this. We'll just go with that. Thank you for tuning in to How Big Is That Font Size with me, Z. This says hi guys, but it's bye guys, bye guys, bye guys. Take care, thank you. Back to the video. Bye, 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 bye. Now that that's all settled, maybe we can read it. Nope, still really difficult. Thanks PhoenixMaster1 on youtube.com/PhoenixMaster1 for the breakdown. Let's see. Enticing Dose has slaying, stats, true stats, even more true stats, stats but on the foe, even more stats on the foe, and sabotage to make those foe stats even more stats but on the foe, damage reduction shredding, true damage, which is basically more stats, distant counter, and removes 25% of the foe's HP at the start of combat. I'm pretty sure they upgraded the chip damage from her release, which is really funny and kind of messed up if they did. There's also Divine Toxin that is also really hard to read. Why did they make it so hard to read? Thanks, Fire Emblem Heroes Emblem YouTuber. Divine Toxin makes the Beast Transformation gimmick easier to obtain, grants that is not what I was going to say. Grants 10 attack defense res Breath, nullifies guard and bonuses to attack and defense, and grants dosage to herself and allies, which is a brand new effect that grants an additional Spectrum 5, 10 HP after combat, blocks bonus stealing effects, and nullifies all the bonuses on foes that can steal or neutralize bonuses. That sure is a lot of effects, ain't it? Effects that can't be removed because of dosage. But mostly because the effects are during combat. I guess it was inevitable that they tried to nerf the bonus negation stuff a bit, because Nurgle kinda got out of hand a teeny tiny bit. Definitely wasn't the best unit in the game for a period of time. Nope. So, I'm sorry to say, Nurgle, but you no longer function. In Anima Season only, but you could still work in Light Season, and Dark Season, and Astra Season, in Arena Modes, and Summoner Duels, and Summoner Duels S, and Summoner Duels R, assuming she isn't brought, which is still basically every single game mode, so congrats, this is essentially not that big of a nerf. Maybe if we get a couple more units that prevented bonus theft or negation, then it'd probably spell the end, but it's hard to say if or when they do that. Oh wait, New Year's is coming up, isn't it? Oh, fuck. She also comes with Sturdy Beast that insert joke here, Attack Defense Twin Far Save that insert another joke here, and Slick Fighter 4, which is a brand new upgraded fighter skill, which inflicts -5 attack on the foe, deals 20% of the unit's defense as true damage, reduces damage taken by 20% of unit's defense, has a guaranteed follow-up, and neutralizes all penalties during combat. The skill seems fine, good, decent, usable in armors according to the restrictions, but there's one glaring issue with the skill that I don't think anyone's brought up. It's not Shield Fighter. Shield Fighter sure is that tanking skill, am I right? Because it doubles Aegis and Pavis and stuff, and then the foe goes in and does 0 damage. And then your armor does 0 damage, but that's fine, because you just want to survive and make it through each day despite the daily struggles that may come your way, but you have to keep going, because there's no other choice but to keep going, and surely the light at the end of the tunnel will arrive and everything will work out in the end. You just know it will. It's nice on armors that don't have slang, though. Maybe like a Marnie, or a Gatri, or a Winter Byleth, and why am I doing a bad Italian impression? But yeah, it seems good, and I'm sure a lot of units will like it. Of course, you could always go back to using Shield Fighter if you like. But yeah, other than that, that sure is Snake Lady, the Astra Mythic. She seems pretty good, and I have no doubt with a cookie cutter build of PRF Weapon, Aegis, PRF A-Slot, Shield Fighter, and Far Save, that she'll get even stronger. Also, seeing as she's an Astra Mythic, I won't have to fight her whatsoever. Unless it's in Summoner Duels, where people are most likely going to use her a fair bit because of everything she does, and there's a possibility that she negates Summer Thor's button effect because it's a remove all bonuses when used effect, and if that's the case, then... The other unit we have this time around is Tree Dude, or Lythar, if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, so I'm going to stick with Tree Dude. He's a Dark Mythic, which is pretty funny because everybody thought he wasn't going to be, and man, you guys sure look really silly for thinking that. Andias is stupid as all hell for making him a Dark Mythic. Explanation later. Let's see. Tree Dude has a weapon with a reasonable font size in the form of Quieting Branch, which has slaying, stats, true stats on the foe's attack and specials, a special jump of -2 before the foe's first attack, distant counter, and at the start of his turn he inflicts -7 defense and res, panic, and sabotage to the nearest foes, and assign decoy and flash to some of those foes. He also has a PRF Besaw in Yggdrasil's Altar that inflicts even more penalties in Discord and attack debuffs, inflicts even more debuffs during combat, has true damage, a guaranteed follow-up, and nullifies damage reduction on his own specials. I think it's really interesting how IS has been integrating story to gameplay into their Fae units as of late. In the story, Tree Dude can magically snap people's necks with his tree magic, and as a playable unit, he makes me want to snap my own neck. Or so I'd say if not for the fact that he's a Dark Mythic, which is an incredibly weird choice on their end. You know who else is a Dark Mythic? Embla and Loki. Do you know what Embla and Loki do? It's okay if you don't, I was going to explain anyway. Embla inflicts Undefended, which nullifies saves, and Loki removes every bonus from the foes in range if they have a total of 3 or more bonuses. Do you know what Tree Dude does? Probably not, because I spent like a minute just saying stats and effects that probably weren't that digested. So yeah, he turns foes into saves with assigned decoy bonuses. I'm not really sure why they didn't make him a mythic for any other season, because it's super anti-synergetic with Emblem and a double-edged sword with Loki. Making him an offense mythic could have been pretty cool at least, because it would have maybe potentially made player face stuff easier. I don't know, maybe, but probably not on Astra because Freya exists. I guess they could have put him on Anima season instead. Actually, never mind. Anima had it too good for too long. We need Elamine back. He also comes with Armored Flow, that insert joke. No, actually, I like this skill. Also, Attacker's Fortune and Barricade, which seems to be an upgrade to Distant Guard. Barricade has anti-warping for both melee at 3 spaces and ranged at 4 spaces, and has a joint drive defensive res bonus of 4 and penalty neutralization to defense and res during combat. This is a really good skill, but there's one glaring issue with the skill that I don't think anyone's brought up yet. It's not Shield Fighter. Okay, it's not that, but the skill is basically worthless. And you might be wondering why that's the case. It has anti-warping and additional support to boot, so what's the problem? The problem, my dear viewers, is that it's Dragon and Beast locked, which basically means it's most likely going to be dead on arrival, similar to that of Pulsemog, which was also a really good skill that died by its restrictions. It's at least more spread out, but it's also a C slot, which means most units that would probably consider running it can't use it because they have better PRF slots like Freyr, Haythrun, Embla again, Asker again. There's maybe like 3 units at most that I would consider using it on, and even that's debatable because of the other stuff they have access to. Doesn't help that the C slot is really competitive in general for support as well, but I will say I was wrong about one thing. It's not one glaring issue, it's more like 3. So, good job, Valentine's Myrrh and Gatekeeper. You two get to live another day somehow. I don't know how, but you guys are still managing. I don't know why.
Trash detected. Trash detected.
But yeah, other than that, that sure is Tree Dude, the Dark Mythic. He'll probably be better than I expect him to be, despite being a Dark Mythic, but only time will tell. But if time is any indication of anything, then he'll get power crept and become worthless by the next banner. And hopefully he does, because I don't want to deal with him in the slightest. And now that we've gone over the brand new mythic units, I think it's time we rank the banner on the small line graph that may or may not be small at the end of the day. And would you look at that? The brand new mythic banner has earned a 1 out of 10 on the line graph. What an awful, terrible, not so very good score for a banner, but I can only blame IS for making the font on this banner so small. And seeing as this is the last banner of Book 8, there's only one thing left to do. Let us rank the line graph that may or may not be a line graph on the graph that may or may not rank graphs. I think based on the total scores that I didn't bother averaging, also I inserted the rest of the banners that I never ranked, so there you go. I can give Book 8 an overall score of 8 out of 10 on the graph. That seems like a fair score, yeah? It had a lot of cool banners and added a bunch of units into the game people have been waiting for, and despite maybe a few hiccups here and there, I would say it was a solid outing. I didn't think I would ever say that for a modern day lineup, but here we are. And back to the current banner for a second, you may be wondering, should I spend orbs on this upcoming banner? You know, right before Book 9 drops? And man, buddy old pal, can I answer that one? Probably not. Both of the mythics seem fairly strong for the most part, but the color shares on basically every single color is really bad, and you're probably better off waiting for a better selection of units. That on top of the current Ninja banner, the rearmed and attuned banner, and whatever might come out soon with the Book 9 banner and the Winter banner that could end up having way more value. Book 9, huh? I've been playing this game for nearly 9 years. This game has been going on for nearly 9 years? I'm old, teehee, 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 ha 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 ha, I can't stand it.